we go. For some reason, microphone quit working. Okay, let's see if this show. Where the hell am I looking? Show on the road. Truck. Sorry about that. Technical difficulties. It's daytime, so I don't need the high beams on yet. Let's take a look around here. This button. What we got? Alright. Another mobile crusher. These things just get hauled around. I just want to know where I'm going and how the hell I'm getting out of here. Alright. Just get it familiar with your surroundings. I didn't know I put it in gear, but apparently I did. Alright. So, my equipment is all down below if you're wondering what I use. As far as steering wheel and all that stuff. And if you have any questions on any of it, feel free to ask. I'll give you my honest review. I'm not paid. I'm not a sponsored person where I gotta lie. Oh no, it's the best one you're ever gonna use. No. I will tell you straight out. Well, it could be this way or it could be that way. But my honest review on the steering wheel is it's fine. More than fine. For what I use it for, it's fine. Man, we're just hauling ass here, bouncing off the road. My thing's still on the trail yet? I think they would have made it a smoother road. Nice cop, nice stop, officer. I've heard of no cop, no stop, but I don't think that works for you guys. Although I've seen it in real life where they drive up to an intersection, flash their lights, drive through and turn the lights back off, and then keep going because they don't want to sit at a red light. That's got to be illegal, right? It can't be legit. You can't just... Yeah, I'm not sitting here. I got stuff to do. Turn the lights on, go through the red light, turn them off, and just go back to your normal daily routine. Brakes. I don't think that you're supposed to be able to do that. No, I don't have the eye tracker on yet. I do have one, and I plan on getting one. But where's my button? There it is. I don't know why this guy's gonna roll in next to me. I have one. I just have to get it set up. It's gonna happen today. Like I said, I was on the previous video I'm going to record. Hopefully 3 videos today, but I don't know if I'm going to get through all 3 of them or not. And then I'm going to hook up the TV, or hook up the new monitor stand / TV stand, because the TV is way cheaper than a monitor, and it looks fine to me. For what I use it for, it's more than fine. And you can pick up a 55-inch TV if you want one that big. Way cheaper than a 55-inch monitor. As long as it has a decent refresh rate and all that stuff, why not, right? Depending on what you're playing, I guess. This game, it's fine. I haven't had any issues. And this is only a 1080p TV, it's not even a 4K. There is a possibility that I upgrade to a 4K TV, but I want to see how, once I move it, right now it's about 5 feet away-ish. It's going to be inside of 3 feet, so it's going to be 2 feet closer. So it's going to be it's going to feel much bigger. That's what she said. Feel much bigger because it's going to be closer. And once I get it to that position, then I can make the decision. I know I want to go bigger, or am I happy with this size TV? Because I don't want it to where again, I use the analogy of sitting front row at the theater. You don't go to the movies and sit in the front row. I mean, maybe you do. I think I did once as a kid. Went with my uncle and I was like, we're gonna go see a movie. Where do you want to sit? I'll let you choose. Front row. He's like, really? You're gonna be looking straight up? Nah, I gotta sit in the front row. Okay. So we sat in the front row the whole movie. Man, I had the stiffest neck. Holy crap. Laying back, looking straight up at the screen. like, well, that was a bad choice. And it's the only time I ever sat in the front row in the theater. Idiot kids. But on these videos, in case you're wondering, on whatever, just to let you know, on these videos, I'd like to bring up topics. I'd like to create some kind of interaction with you all. So I'll ask a question and see if I can get some feedback from you guys and gals. Let's get this thing up to 74 and I have to cruise control. Oh, I forgot to look. This one doesn't have that, does it? It does not. But we got a full tank. I think we'll be fine. Or almost full tank, 3/4. I like the ones, I've gone through this every video. I like the trucks, because these are all loaners. Which is another reason I'll be happy when I can get to level 20 and get the truck I want. I like trucks that have that distance to empty. So that I'm like, okay, I'll be good to, hit this load. I don't have to stop for fuel or whatever. Because they don't always give you enough fuel for your trip. This button thing. I'm curious on the eye tracker. I have a friend that has it. And oddly enough, no disrespect if at all. But it works for him, and he's only got one eye. So it is literally an eye tracker for him. For me, it's going to be both, obviously. But, buddy, if you're watching, I'm busting your chops. He's pulling for him. But for... what's it called? I don't want it to be... I'm just going to use this as an example. Please bear with me. I don't want it to be like this. I want it to be just... nice and easy. I don't want it to just be just all over the place. I should have been in this lane, I guess. I'm gonna break the cones, or am I gonna hit the cones? Enter button. There we go. Yeah, thanks for nothing. This guy just blows right through it. Why'd you even come through here? You got a speed pass? I want a speed pass. But yeah, you know what I mean? I don't want it to be just completely glitchy all over the place with the camera. And I know there's something with the sensitivity. When I get it set up, which will be today, hopefully, God willing, I got all my snow blowing done yesterday because we had a snowstorm. Because real day, it is February 21st. In Wisconsin, and we get snow. So I don't live in California where we never get snow. I live where it's cold and snow. God forbid it. I mean, thank God it's not cold anymore. It's only like 20 degrees, 15 degrees Fahrenheit. That's not that cold. For us, anyway. For wintertime, it's actually about average. In the low digits. Single digits to teens is about average for temperatures for Wisconsin for wintertime. Depending upon where in the state. Now, if you live in the southern part of the state, say Madison, Milwaukee, generally it doesn't get as cold as it does in the northern part where I live. They get snow, and then it doesn't stick around because it melts quicker than what it does in our area, or in my area. If you get snow, it's going to stick around. Generally. Back to the topic at hand. Getting the eye thing set up. Yeah, so that's my thing is today. I have to take out the old TV stand, monitor stand. And it's not even old, it's brand new. But I got to take it out so I can bring in the new one. which then makes it that the old one, I don't even know what the hell I'm going to do with the old one. Again, it's brand new, but it's not going to do me any good. I'll have to sell it, throw it out, whatever. I'll just put it out in the garage for now. I can't have it in here. There's no room for it. I don't have room for 2 TV stands. I mean, I'll give it to somebody. I don't even care. I'll probably put it on Marketplace and sell it for dimes or dollars or whatever. It works great. Supposed to hold a 65-inch TV, but I don't know if I'd be that trusting of it. Let's be honest. But yeah, once I get this set up and I figure out how close I am to the TV, I'll decide if I want to go with the 4K. It's a 40-inch TV, 1080p. But if I go 4K, then that smallest one I can get, I think, in 4K, of this brand anyway, is a 43-inch TV. Which is fine. That's what I'm using on my main computer setup. This is like a secondary setup. It's a standalone cockpit thing. Separate PC, separate microphone, separate everything. Computer. I guess that'd be a PC, yeah. A computer and a PC? Wow. I guess it could be a laptop, but it's not a laptop. I'm gonna get this thing down to 60, but as soon as I do, that's when it's gonna... Oh, I just turned it off. As soon as I get it to 65 and lock it in, it's gonna switch to 70. I know. Alright, now we're locked in at 65. But, like I say, generally I come up with a question. But if you all have anything for me, just let me know. I'll answer them. Honest reviews. I don't pull punches. I don't get paid to do this, so I will give you a straight up honest review on any of this stuff. The steering wheel, the racing cockpit, the button box. Well, and soon to be the eye tracker thing. Once I get it hooked up, I will be doing an example course once. Let's show you guys, you know, the different things. I mean, because you're supposed to be able to literally stick, like if I'm backing a trailer, I can stick my head out the window and look at the back tires of the truck. Problem is, that's where my microphone is, on my left, basically right over my left shoulder, so that you can all hear me. So I won't be able to do the stick my head out the window thing unless I move my microphone. And I've been just doing quick parking anyway. I know eventually I'll get to it to where I actually can park it. But I promise I'll start parking. Unless there are loads like this, I'm not parking these kinds of trailers. Sorry. I don't get paid. I don't have a CDL. I don't get paid for that. They don't pay me enough to do that. I'll just hit that quick park. Yeah. So I gotta come up with a topic. Let's see. I think in one video I asked what kind of steering wheel you guys are using, if you are using a steering wheel or if you're using a controller. So I won't go with that. I've asked if you're going to do the PlayStation. If it comes out, that's not set. That was just a random question. I've asked where people live. I don't want to know your mailing address. I'm just general area. It's like, I live in Texas. Perfect. Awesome. Or I live in the UK, or if I live in Ireland or Scotland or Edinburgh or Scotland, I think. But Norway, Sweden, Switzerland. I'd love to go to Switzerland. It's beautiful. I have a friend that lives there. Gaming friend, of course. I know people from all over the place. These gamer people, they live everywhere. All right, that's a question. That's a good question. When did you all start gaming? You know what I mean? Did you start, and on what system? Did you start? I mean, if you're a younger viewer, you probably started on something like GameCube or Wii, Nintendo Wii, or a Nintendo. What is they all Switches? Yeah, Switch. You got Switch 1 and 2 now. I've never owned a Switch. I don't have any. Desire, I guess. If I could go backwards, I would actually get a Super Nintendo. Not the Nintendo 64, but the Super Nintendo. And play some of the old school games. But anyway, yeah, that's what I want to know. I want to know when you started gaming and what you started on. What system was it? Or was it a PC? You've always been a PC gamer. See, I am not a PC gamer, other than this game. And I have games I have a big old list of games on my Steam account. Because I'm like, I'm going to play on Steam. Like, I have Snowrunner on PC, but I never play it. I have GTA 5 on PC, but I don't play it. Typically, it's ATS. ETS 2. Man, that's just crazy speed limit airdrops. And more ATS than ETS do. I got another vehicle inspection. Alright, let's pull over. I didn't have any on the last trip, so. And on this one, they're going to make up for it. But yeah, I think I started. It's kind of the question comes back to me. So I started on, I guess legit would probably be Atari 2600. I mean, I tinkered a little bit. My grandparents had like Pong, but it wasn't any fun. It was just Pong. If you ever played it, nothing to it. My grandparents had, it was on that order though, Pong. Because I had aunts and uncles that were about 10 years older than me when I was a kid. I mean, they're still 10 years older than me, but you know what I mean. So if I was 8 years old or 7 years old, they were in their late teens, you know. They were like 15, 16. I think I got one uncle that's like 7 years older than me, 6 years older than me. So if I was 8, he'd be like 14 or 15. So, yeah. And that'd be about the wheelhouse, you know. I mean, things were different back then. Where's this icon? I think it's right there. Things were different back then. We didn't have the internet. We didn't have... Are you pushing me? Somebody's pushing me back there, bro? We didn't have the internet. We didn't have Facebook. We didn't have YouTube. We didn't have any of that stuff growing up. I can't imagine what it's like nowadays for a kid. You know? All of this technology, as opposed to what it was like when I was a kid. Insane. It'd be mind-blowing, actually. But I guess if you're growing up with it, it's kind of just there, right? As opposed to trying to have, like, somebody my age has to learn everything. And it's, my brain is already full of all the information that I can fit in there. It's packed full. Where they're just sponges. They're just absorbing all this information. I think it's easier for a fresh brain. It doesn't have all of that useless information stored in it. You know. I mean, we had to memorize phone numbers back in the day. Nowadays, it's all programmed onto your phone. So they lose their phones and or whatever, and now they're lost. Because nobody memorizes phone numbers anymore. Alright, it's 60. Not 42, 60. God, I hate people on drive like this. So, yes. And I would have to say I was probably 6 or 7 years old, playing the Atari. Playing Pac-Man. That was probably the first game. Real game, not Pong. Pac-Man would probably be the first one. But I grew up with all the good stuff, so then if you start going through that, you got Atari, then you got ColecoVision, you got Intellivision 2 and 1, and Sega Genesis, and regular base Sega. Then, of course, the different Nintendos, the Nintendo 64, Nintendo Super Nintendo, Nintendo Wii, all these damn GameCubes and Game Boys, and all that stuff growing up. Game Boy was a little bit past my time. My kids had a Game Boy. I played a couple games on Game Boy Advance, actually, but I had a PSP. I had a PlayStation Portable, or whatever the hell they call it. But I played the hell out of it. Got my use out of it. I don't think I can even play one now. But, yeah, I played the crap out of that. Played Waste City on PSP. Or whatever it was. There was a Grand Theft Auto on PSP that I played. I want to say it was Waste City. Man, I played the crap out of that on that little ass screen. Now I won't be able to see it. Oh, I'm going to take the wrong turn. I just know it. I have a problem with that. I don't have the headset on, so I'm not listening to the GPS person. Not to mention I have that turned off anyway. So. It looks like we're okay so far. I haven't missed my exit. And for time, 6:30. Yeah, so 6:30 a.m. real time. I wanted to get one more video in. I don't know if I'll make it. My goal was to get 3 and then make some breakfast. And then start tearing this computer stuff down. If you've seen my office, I call it my office. You'd be like, where are you going to put that? Yeah, that's why it took me so long to decide on it. Getting a racing cockpit, it's like, I don't think I got the room for it. And then I start moving some stuff around. I'm like, you know what? I got room. And it's about to get shorter because I'm going to be able to move the TV closer, monitor closer, which then I can move my cockpit closer to a different area, and it'll free up some space behind me. Because now I'm kind of out from the wall, because the way this one sets versus the way the new one's going to sit. But I bought the TV/monitor stand that is made by the same company as the racing cockpit. So it's a GTPLAYER TV stand. So it kind of comes over the top of it. And I guess I could have just bought a scissor arm, right? Like a spring-loaded deal, and have it come out straight at me. I just don't like putting things into my wall if I don't have to. Just putting holes in the wall and screwing down. And I'm guessing that some of you live in apartments where you're not allowed to even hang a picture, let alone start putting lag bolts through the wall to hang a TV mount. Right lane, left lane. I think we're going straight. Beaumont, Texas. So, I mean, we had all the good games, though, growing up. I don't know, now when you grow up and you start with VR, it's like, wow. I've only done a little bit with VR, and that was like on a Quest 2. And it was very little, limited amount. You gotta have room for that stuff. I guess it depends on the game. Could you imagine if this was VR? Or if you had to put on a headset just to play this? Man, that'd be crazy. It'd be kind of neat, because then you could just look, and then you would see. It'd be like that eye tracker thing that I got. But I gotta get set up. Still working on it. Like some of the games that you play, I think if they were VR, crazy. I mean, the games, graphically, from when I started, 8-bit graphics on the old Atari, to what they are now, insane. Insane. So, like, if you could take a game from this era, from the 2020s, and take it back into the 70s, and show them where technology is going to be as far as graphics. And of course, back then they only had, but you'd have to bring the TV, you'd have to bring everything. I mean, because they were all old tube TVs back then, and they're lucky if they got 720p resolution. You know, they didn't have 8K TVs and stuff like that. Would you imagine taking that to? But you'd have to bring everything with you. You'd have to bring, you know, the DVD player or Blu-ray players or whatever with the different resolutions. Because they had VHS tapes, which were really crappy resolution. And they got crappier the more you watched the movie. Like, it's just like crazy. If you were going to take it back in time, you'd have to take everything with you. And they'd be like, what is that? That's a movie on there? And it's just a flash drive. You could, how many movies you got on that thing? On that little stick? Nah, you're lying. And you show them like that. Even just movies. They wouldn't have to be video games, just video quality for movies. But like video games, can you imagine taking something like Red Dead Redemption 2, which came out in what, 2018 or whatever, even the graphics on that opposed to, well, PC I guess too. But even computers. I mean, my uncle had a Commodore 64, which I thought were great graphics back then, as opposed to an Atari, you know. And then you start getting, you know, just graduating up. I think back when I was in high school, we had an Apple IIc for our classroom computer, and there was like one in the classroom. Not everybody. Now everything is on iPads and stuff. Crazy. We had one computer and we had to take turns working on it. What are we doing here? Well, 68 miles up. But yeah. Crazy. Where we've been and to where we're at now. It's like I can't imagine, like my grandparents and stuff, and my great grandparents, which are gone now. But if the things that they've seen in their lifetime, you know, from the first automobiles, people landing on the moon, flying in airplanes, just the technology, and what's it going to be for the, you know, the generation that's coming around now, the ones that are just being born. I mean, they have jetpacks, flying cars. I mean, they always predicted, like Back to the Future. What year was that? 2000 something, early 2000s, I think. When they went to the Back to the Future 2. I don't know where it was set, the time frame, but They had flying cars. We don't have flying cars. They don't have jetpacks. Not like, you know, like you would picture a jetpack, everybody having one. You know, predicting the future. In 2020. Whatever. Yeah, this game is just beautiful. I mean, there's a lot of really good games. I think Snowrunner is a really good game. Beautiful game graphically. Great game. When you sit and think about, you know, and don't just rush through it. It's like, as they say, stop and smell the roses once in a while instead of just walking past them. Pay attention to your surroundings. You get acclimated. You get numb to it, essentially. I mean, you live in places that have beautiful mountain ranges and everything, and you get complacent to it. You get numb to it. It's like, it's no big deal. It's just the old mountain. Then somebody comes and visits, and they're like, this is beautiful. You get to wake up to this every day? And you're like, what? I mean, just beautiful surroundings. It's like living in Hawaii. You got the volcano, mountains, and the beaches, and the oceans, and the sunsets, and all that stuff. Something I'll never see unless I see it on TV or YouTube videos. I don't plan on going to Hawaii. It's not my... That is not in my wheel. Not on my wish list. Not on my bucket list. Hawaii. Now my wife would probably want to go. But I really don't care to go to there. I'd rather go to Switzerland. Check out the Alps and the mountains and all the other stuff. I'm taking half of this lane. I don't care. Yeah, I can't wait for the eye tracker because then you can do this. I hope it's not as jerky as that, but like, what's going on? And I'll be able to look out that mirror just by looking to the right. You know, it won't be having to have that one in the upper right hand corner of the screen. There we go. I'll just be able to just move my head and look. And we got 6:30. Yeah. Really would like to get another video in, but I don't know if I'm going to make it. 2's good now. I can come back and do another one after breakfast. I think that's what I'll do. I just don't like eating a late breakfast. Does that make sense to y'all? We eat too late of a breakfast. Like, it's only 6:30, right? 6:45 in the morning. But I don't want to eat breakfast at 8 o'clock. Because then at lunchtime comes at noon-ish, and you're not hungry because you just had breakfast. But you want to eat breakfast or lunch. But then if you don't eat lunch at noon and you end up eating lunch at, say, 2 o'clock, because that's when you get hungry. Well, now, supper is what I call it. Some people call it dinner. Supper will be, 8 o'clock tonight. And I don't like to eat that late. So you gotta have your meals, and either you skip one and then you're really starving by the time supper shows up, or you eat early, skip breakfast and eat an earlier lunch, and then, but I want breakfast. I don't get breakfast during the week because I work so early. So I want breakfast. How are we doing here? Anybody else here? Alright, nobody's here. The guy behind me. I'm gonna turn and there'll be somebody right there. Always, it never fails. I made a turn wide enough. I always thought about getting a CDL and becoming a truck driver, but then I also thought about it and went, I'm gonna pass. I'd rather just do it this way. I mean, I get mad at traffic on here. I can't imagine how I'd be in real life. And then you could kill somebody, and I don't want to be like that. I don't want to have to deal with that. That would just be, I don't know. I don't even recover. How do you recover from that? I mean, it was an accident, but how do you recover from that? Honestly. I gotta turn into this driveway, looks like. There's guys that it's happened to, and I feel for them 100%. So I can't imagine the. Anyway, we won't go there. I want to thank everybody for watching. I appreciate you. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to drop them down below. And I will get back to you ASAP. See, I'm doing quick parking. I ain't gonna do the other one. We'll get it level up. Please. I don't think I'm gonna get it. Nope. I'll take one more load to get to level 17. Son of a biscuit. Alright, again, if you have any questions or comments, feel free to drop them down below. I'll get back to them. Thank you for watching, and I will see you all on the next video. Bye, everybody.